blessing for the Tsar, of course. May God bless and keep the Tsar far away from us.
Hi, I don't normally record with my glasses on, but I've been working and I kind of have been collecting clips, so I thought I would like take some time to actually talk because I have this deadline that I'm writing to, and yeah. Just, it's not a full chapter yet, it's a chunk of what will become a full chapter, and it's looking at this like series of stories that one particular author was writing in socialist periodicals, namely like two, but actually this series bridged a few different periodicals, but it's a really fascinating like story cycle series from like the perspective of what I'm looking at, and like the development of socialist feminism, socialist womanhood as an identity and a class position. Not socialist womanhood, but like classed womanhood, like womanhood as both a class, as an entirety, as well as like containing and somewhat centering working class women within that. So I really want to write about them, and that's what I've been doing. I have already been writing about these, or at least about two of the stories in this series. And so then first of all I was just writing about the two that I hadn't covered. There is a fifth one that I can't access, and I have like emailed the British Newspaper Archive to see if they will be digitizing it, because of course it was published in 1895 and they have the periodical that it was published in, and they have all of the issues from like whenever it started, like the 1880s to 1894, and then they don't have the year 1895, and then they have 1896 on to like whatever 1900 when it ended. It might be longer than that, but the point is that doesn't matter, because the year that I really need is 1895, which of course is the one year that they don't have. So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting with that. I've been doing like good at like writing quite a lot, partially also because I have been returning to stuff I've written before about specifically the two that I've written already, and so I've been like adding those sections in where it feels relevant and sort of rewriting them too. Most of it I haven't been just like wholesale copy pasting, but it does mean that my writing count does increase way faster than it would. So that's really helpful. Yeah, the one thing I'm really struggling with is I'm really stressed and sleeping terribly, and don't have spoons to like go out. Like I can do this, and I also have some other things to like prepare for, and it's also like Hanukkah, and I mean Hanukkah is kind of chill, so that's okay and it's nice, but my birthday is coming up and people are coming to visit, so I want to be like ready for that, and so I'm just like stressed about just doing the like tasks inside of my home. So I'm like pretty stuck here because then I also have to work. But one thing I would really like to do, and I think would really help me, is if I could print out this particular draft, so that I can like mark it up, especially because I think the structure is really bad, but it's also partially because it's like all linked in my head for me, so I feel like some things could go anywhere because they're linked to everything that I'm saying. I feel like that's an insight into one of my major problems with writing things. So, but yeah, because I can't do that, that's frustrating, because it's also like, if I did go onto campus to print it out, it's like, it's just kind of a waste of spoons, like, because then I'll have taken all of the energy to go onto campus, so who knows if I'll actually have the energy to work that day, and then like I can't do any of the like house stuff that I need to do either, because I'll be too tired from going onto campus. And like it takes an annoying amount of time for being like a really short thing to do, you know, so then it's like anyways, it's just, life is hard, you know, life's really hard. But yeah, this wasn't me trying to be negative, because I have been doing pretty well, and like I made a schedule for myself. This is like the word count section, and this is the day we actually are, but my word count is this amount. It's actually more than this, is 4,500. So that's really good, like I'm way ahead. I don't think I said this, but so yeah, like I said, my birthday is coming up, but I would like to get to 5,000 before my birthday, so that I can take some days off then, and also send it to probably my mum to read through as a draft, because she has a really long train journey on the 23rd, which is my birthday. So I will yeah, try to send it to her for that, so she can look at it then. And it would be good to send as much as possible to her, and as much like sorted out as possible to her, because yeah, right now it does just feel kind of chunky. It's really frustrating though. I just find it so much easier to think when it's like physical, and like I can like write on it, and also because it is about structure, so I need to be able to just be like, okay, this needs to go here, and that I find so much easier to do physically as well, instead of on a computer. But yeah, okay, I'm really tired. I'm doing like a sewing project right now. It's a secret because it's a gift for someone, hopefully, so I won't tell you what it is. But I'm gonna try and use the rest of my spoons for that now today, and also maybe do some tidying and eat dinner at some point. Yeah, okay, I will stop now because I am just so tired. Oh, I'm gonna paint the rest of my nails. I just haven't yet. This is kind of the state of my mind though, where I start doing one thing that I want to do, and then like I stop because I have to do many other things, and then I forget to return to it, and then I'm gonna definitely have to redo all of the nail painting I did, because I mean, anyway, like, is this like authentic life in a PhD? You get it. Longer than it was supposed to. I kind of wanted it, like I imagined that I could just do it in half an hour, but also because of the way I was doing it, which was like editing, structuring stuff too, as opposed to just like writing more, it took longer. And I was like, yeah, I went through this draft. Oops. I was listening to One Direction to help me get through it. Yeah, I went through this draft like physically to mark up, which like really helps me, especially to do like particular stages of writing. And I think maybe I talked about how like I wouldn't be able to get this, but I have a friend who was really kind and printed it out for me and then dropped it off for me here, so that's lovely. I'm kind of in the phase of like feeling kind of bored of this work and so like not really wanting to go through every single line, so I let myself just do a more like major one and try to focus on like creating more of the writing that I need, which I think was pretty successful. I just did a word count, which you can see my maths calculations here, and I always like underdo the number because that way I won't get a like nasty shock if I like edit some part of it down and then I like recount and then it's like way under than I wanted it to be. But that means that it's probably maybe 6,000 now, but it's definitely at least 5,800 words, so that's really great. I'm really happy with that. It also means I can do my squiggly line on my writing schedule, blah blah blah. So yeah, now I'm gonna like have a book break, but I'm also gonna just make sure that the document is like clear for somebody else to look at it, because it has some like colour stuff and also stuff in bullet points, which tend to be things that like I haven't written yet, but I want to, or quotations that I want to write about but I haven't. And this draft also does have some just like chunks of paragraphs from other work that I want to sort of harvest into this piece. And yeah, I'm trying to work, you know, smarter, not harder. And most of it is kind of going to be rewritten anyway. Also, sorry if I look exhausted. I can't really sleep at the moment, and like, yeah, I'm just really tired. But yes, so it was successful. But yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm gonna try and feel good about this, because I should, but also I'm just so tired. Okay, blah blah blah. Hi, I'm eating some cereal. I have a new coloured, well, multicoloured fringe, which is kind of hard for you to see, but I'm pretty happy with it because I think it looks really cool. I was gonna re-bleach like all of my fringe, then I realised I didn't have the correct bleach. So then I just decided to overdye the blue and almost out colour that it was before, pink, and then I knew I would get some purple, but I also hoped I would get pink, and honestly I think this turned out better than I could have expected. I'm extremely tired, just like not sleeping, and I think I'm gonna take my asthma inhaler after I finish filming this. But I wanted to talk a little bit about like the books that I'd like to read before the end of the year here, which is also sort of about like the books I'm currently reading. The main one I'm reading right now is The Member of the Wedding by Carson McCullers, which I'm reading like as a buddy read with Andrea Leanne, who did used to have a channel on BookTube, which I guess is sort of how we like connected, but doesn't like post anymore. You know, we talk a lot, and we decided we would read a Carson McCullers book together, and I am pretty close to finishing. I'm kind of hoping to finish it today. I have a bunch of like baking stuff, so I'm hoping to listen to it whilst I do that, because I'm currently on page 149 and this copy has I think like 189 pages, so yeah, I've got like 40 more pages. Yeah, I also would like to finish this before I travel somewhere, which I'm gonna do. This is kind of like a difficult book, I would say, but also really interesting actually. I did really struggle with like some of the like really racist language used in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk about it more when I'm hopefully less exhausted and also have finished it. But I have been really enjoying talking about it with Andrea Leanne, especially because there's like this level of like gender nonconformity that is being like really explored both like in dialogue and then also about Frankie, the main character, who's this like 12-year-old girl, that is really interesting and fun to me. And also like I know that like Carson McCullers was queer, and I really want to read my autobiography of Carson McCullers by Jen Shapland, is it? And so I kind of had wanted to read one of her books at least before I read that, because I did try to read The Heart as a Lonely Hunter and I didn't like it at all, and I just sort of gave up. But this, I felt like there was something that was, yeah. Anyway, okay. The next book I'm currently reading, but I haven't made very much progress in, is Soul Music by Terry Pratchett. It's perfect, sweet, hilarious, on the nose. Looking forward to keeping reading it. I've been focusing on reading this and then also obviously like my PhD work stuff, so I haven't been doing loads and loads of reading, but I really like to finish this by the end of the year. I feel like I really haven't read enough Terry Pratchett this year, and that's partially just because I didn't read that much in like January, February, and normally my like Discworld months, I've said this before, but like my Discworld months are like December, January, February. So I kind of wanted to give myself like a good start and read this. And this is one of the death like series within Discworld that I've really wanted to read for a long time. I have another book that I am currently reading that I just started yesterday with Mari, which is The End, which is the final book in the series of Unfortunate Events series by Lemony Snicket. So I would love to finish that by the end of the year, and I'm going to see Mari, and then hopefully we will be able to film a video about the whole series and our experience of reading them and like thoughts and things like that. So that's also one of the yeah, things that I'm going to read and am currently reading. And then as for things I haven't started to read yet, I have these two books. One of them is Claudine at School by Colette, translated by Antonia White. This has been on my TBR and also was part of like, I wanted to try and read more French books this year from my shelves, and this is one of them. I'm pretty sure I won't be picking up super soon, but I am kind of hopeful that I'll be able to at least start it before the end of the year. Yeah, and it would be great partially for the progress, for my goals, but also because I want to read this. I put it on my goals because I wanted to read it. I just haven't like got to it. And then the other book is this book, which is Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. And so I'm turning 30, and I have said for a long time, I guess, if somebody was like pushing me to say what your favourite novel was, I would have said this maybe. But I haven't actually read it for a long time. I read it when I was, I think, 16, and it was one of those books that just completely like expanded like how you could live in the world and be in the world, and it was like amazing. It was like, you know, I had been kind of suffocating myself against like life, and when I read this book I suddenly was able to stop that and breathe more. I don't know, it was a very, you know, interesting experience, and I haven't reread it. And like, yeah, as I'm coming to my 30th birthday, I kind of felt like I should reread this to see if it is still one of my favorite books ever, and also what it means to me now as a 30-year-old. This is like, it's crazy that like I didn't kill myself and I got to 30, so amazing, great work everyone. But yeah, I'm just really intrigued to check this out. I also do feel like, you know, what if I don't like it anymore? Like, that would be really sad to me. But it's okay, you know, like, books change how they mean to you throughout time, and I think I'll never, like, begrudge the love I had for this book or the experience I had reading it and, like, learning that you could be a dyke in the world. And happy to say I am a dyke in the world. So yeah, I kind of had this like nice idea of like reading it on my actual birthday, which is tomorrow now, but I don't think that's going to be possible because I'm actually doing stuff then. But it'd be nice to start reading it then, and I think like if I can finish The Member of the Wedding, that would be really great. Also, I think actually thinking about these two books together would be kind of interesting in terms of like dyke, childhood, gender nonconformity, and also surprisingly, I guess, like religion, theology. Because in this, there's quite a lot of like discussion about like religion and like what Frankie would do if she was God, and she has all of these really interesting conversations. And this one is more like directly about like particular Christian stuff, and the main character Jeanette, she is like brought up to be a proselytizer. What's the word? You know, she's an evangelical Christian, like her mum is very intense. Anyway, that was a really bad description, but yeah, so I've got these 4 books to read and also one more which is on audio, and we'll see what is possible. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna finish my cereal now, so bye.
Ba ba da ba ba.
Update. I'm at like 7,000 words. I think over 7,000 words, which is just crazy. I definitely haven't written all of this from scratch, but still pretty crazy to me. So I think I've worked on it as much as I can for now. I've sent it to my mum, who is going to read through it and tell me if it's terrible. No, she's very nice to me, but she will help me make it make more sense. And yeah, because it's Shabbat, so I'm filming a vlog clip. So because it's Shabbat, I'm not going to work anymore on it, so she'll have time to look it over, so whilst I like rest and don't work. So that's the plan, and then I'm gonna like send it off on like Wednesday or Thursday or something. So yeah. You want to be in my vlog? Okay. Hi, so I'm back from visiting Mari, so I wanted to kind of show you some things I brought back. I brought some cheese back, and it's in the fridge, and it's called Grados, and it's perfect, and I love it. I also brought some like brown cheese back for my friend, and I also brought some Moomin biscuits for them, and I also brought them their own quick lunch milk chocolate chocolate bar, because I wanted one and there was a great offer, so I was like, I'm gonna get two, and then I can give one whole one to them, so I don't have to share. Mari also gave me some really cute like Hello Kitty related snacks, which we both ate, of course. She also gave me this beautiful puzzle, which is called The World of the Tudors, which is just gorgeous, and I cannot wait to start putting it together. So delightful. And she also gave me 2 books, but I actually think I might make a little video showing some of the other things that I got for my birthday, which include 3 other books. But the 2 ones that she gave me were Them by Harry Josephine Giles and Gaza My Love, which is by an anarchist and was originally published on Crime Think. I also today got this like lovely beautiful card from Andrea Leanne, so it's like so nice, and it included these like gorgeous little snowflakes, that's the word, that she crocheted in. So I've got to figure out where I want to put these. I love this one especially, like it's got like there's like a shine to the blue, so it like really like glimmers as if it's like snow. They're both so gorgeous, like oh, so nice. So I just also wanted to show that. I haven't finished reading the card because I got excited and was like, I'm going to make this little check-in. So I think that means that I get to have some little chocolate. If you know anything, you should know that I love quick lunch, and then I love chocolate, so then combining quick lunch into a chocolate bar. Genius. It got a bit banged up for my travel, but that's okay. I was just checking in from my bedroom floor because I haven't like updated the vlog in a little while, but basically I sent in the writing that I was working on, but I am going to keep going with this vlog just for a little bit longer because I have a conference that I got accepted to do a like paper presentation to. A presentation, like a paper, you know what I mean. Which I'm like pretty stressed about and I wish I hadn't done, but I think it was good for me to have applied. But yeah, I thought I would like just keep vlogging a little bit until the conference. Like I'm not gonna like vlog the conference, and it's also like all on Zoom, but I thought I might show some of my like preparation, and I'm like trying to organize a practice run like I have done for the past few presentations I've been doing, so that I can like practice but also just like try to get a handle on some of my nerves and my anxiety and stuff, because like it gets bad. And this is like a nice way to do that, and it also means that I get to like talk to people about my research in a much less stressful environment than at a conference, and then it kind of gives me like a spark of like, it's actually nice to communicate with people about the research you're doing. So yeah, that's sort of where things are at. I'll just take you along as I like prepare and blah 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 blah. So okay. So I am going to do a practice run of my presentation today. Wish I hadn't done that. Like on campus, I've like invited some people, so that's what's happening. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will not be like vlogging the conference. It's on Zoom, I think I've probably said already, but also because I will probably be very anxious, and also I don't want to think about anything else. Like I just need to focus on what I am going to do and then chill out. But I thought I would kind of try and take you along with this practice run so you get kind of a sense, even if it's not the same. And also I have about like 10 days after today to, is that right? Maybe slightly more actually, maybe 2 weeks after today to like still fine-tune stuff. Specifically my presentation, like I've made a PowerPoint but it sucks, but that's fine for this like practice run. And then I also maybe need to like finagle my script a little bit so that it will definitely last for long enough, but also will not mean that it's just like it's just getting up to the time limit, so that then I feel like I have to rush through it more, because obviously I need to focus on speaking slowly instead of speaking really fast, because I'm anxious and I also want to get it over and done with as fast as possible. But yeah, so that's sort of the update for now. Now I'm going to do something that will not make very much sense, but maybe I will provide context depending on if I want to. I knit this. So, the turn of the century saw an increasing preoccupation with mothering. Various social, technological and international developments led to motherhood emerging from the private sphere and becoming both a public role and a contested domain in a new way. Things that were tried were school meals and milk depots, which this is a picture of, and the first is obviously that one. In the Glasgow-based socialist periodical Forward, which ran from 1906 to 1960 and was associated with the Independent Labour Party, Mary Phillips, a socialist suffragist, used descriptions of motherhood as a rhetorical device to create a community of women readers. Phillips notes that the trouble is that men are so, that men are so anxious to instruct nature where to draw the line. Hello, I have been tiredly lying in my bed post the practice run, and now I need to get out and have some dinner and then I can go to bed properly. But I'm very, very tired, but it went pretty well. I got some nice feedback and they asked me some questions and made me feel like I mostly know what I'm talking about. I think I said this before, but like I do have some time to kind of edit it more and fine tune it more, especially the presentation, but also the script. I've been a bit worried about the timings of it, so I added some things in today, but I feel like they're not as cohesive as I'd want them to be. So I'll need to just fine tune it a little bit. I think I said this already, but yeah, I also plan to do like another practice run on the Zoom, which will happen next week probably after I've done all the fine tuning and I've finished up my presentation, like my PowerPoint, so that it's like as done as possible. I do kind of struggle with PowerPoint and I don't particularly want to use it, but I also do think it's nice to have something that people can look at whilst you're talking. It's just always difficult because the periodicals I look at, they are not scanned very well, / like they do not produce particularly useful or readable images to share. So like I can't really just show those, but yeah, I have figured out some ways to share and like whatever. I do think it's helpful to have some of the quotes that you're referring to or like your argument is like centering around on a screen so that people can also like look at them in other ways than just hearing you say them. Yeah, it was very sweet. One of my friends came slightly late, so she only had like the very final conclusion part of the talk, and then we talked for a while afterwards, like, and everybody, was asking questions, and then we were just chatting a bit, and then when everybody had gone, she was still there, and so she suggested that I do it again to her. So I did, and that was also really nice, and I also definitely slowed a lot down that time, which was really good, because I do tend to speak fast, and also I want to speak fast because I want it to be over as soon as possible. I maybe have already said that. But yeah, you really got to slow down, especially when the urge is to like speed up, so that then you can be talking at maybe a slightly fast time but not super fast. I am just so exhausted, and I would like to sleep more. It's my wish for myself and for most people probably. I'm kind of looking forward to like returning to my actual work because this is based off of previous research, but it's also quite nice because I like can dip into this like section of research I did that does feel quite nicely like truncated as opposed to like expanding out into like everything, which is what my PhD research often feels like. But yeah, I do also actually have a supervision. I maybe also mentioned this before, next week, and a meeting about like marking stuff too, so it's gonna be a really busy time, and I am really tired and I would like it not to be, but what can you do? I just wanted to say I think it's also really nice that like it's really nice to be able to ask for help from people, I think, and sometimes it's just good to do that because it makes you feel like people are like there for you, and like sometimes you have to sort of actively ask for that and like actively ask for them to like be there for something, and I think that that's really nice actually. Obviously sometimes it can feel a bit stressful and like, I don't know, friendship's good, isn't it? Okay. Hi. It's been a little while. I had a good Zoom practice run of my presentation, and then I was too unwell to present it. Unwell in many various ways. And I've been editing this vlog, and it's hilarious and also a bit tragic how I simply tell you every single time how tired I am. So I'm not that surprised that this happened, but it was a bit frustrating because I did like 95% of the work, and then I just had the final 5% to do the presentation. But it just I couldn't do it. And yeah, I guess I still want to like include this and put it in my vlog and talk about it because I felt like I've talked about being a disabled PhD student before, like someone with a chronic illness, and how that impacts my capacity and my experience of life in general, and then also in specific with doing a PhD or doing any kind of big project. I guess I wanted to include this because I kind of was like, well, maybe there are other people who are also disabled PhD students who are like really beating themselves up for like not being able to do something, or for like feeling like a failure because they couldn't present, or they couldn't whatever, and maybe this will make them feel less like alone and less like internalized about the experience of having to say I can't do this, which I don't believe is a moral failing. And I do think, like, you know, it's a emotional and like difficult experience, and I definitely felt like I was kind of a failure at one point, but I also did feel like it was the right decision, which I think did help, like the right decision to just like say I can do it, because I couldn't do it. I think obviously like there are like kind of multiple elements going on, which is that like I have a fatigue based, or you know, pain and fatigue based illness that I'm constantly trying to navigate, and then I also did have a lot of anxiety about presenting, and I do, about public speaking and stuff. So combining those things, obviously sometimes it's like this is actually the anxiety speaking, and this is actually, no, I have to listen to my like physical needs here, and obviously like sometimes they are the same, and then sometimes they are kind of divergent, and like that can be also quite difficult and tiring to like try to make the right decision for your body as a whole, whilst also maintaining your caringness towards the different parts of yourself that are responding to different things. It's a lot to manage. But yeah, so obviously I sort of feel like, especially I've been trying to build up my confidence and strength in terms of public speaking in the past like year, 18 months, I guess. And so I was like saddened by this, in the sense that it felt a little bit like a step back because I didn't do the presentation, like blah blah blah. But I also just, like I said, like I have to meet myself where I am, and where I was like, it's not a good idea, from both like a exhaustion perspective and also from an anxiety perspective. But if I had been less exhausted, maybe I could have dealt better with my anxiety, you know, like it's like it's yeah, it was tough. And I've not to go super into it, but I've started new medication which is supposed to be helping me, and it's making me have more OCD related thoughts and just want to die more. So it's not going great. And I am happy with the work I did and like put into the presentation, and I got out of it some nice things because I presented it to my friends and had conversations about it. And so, you know, you just have, I think you sometimes have to take the wins where they are, as opposed to where you imagine they could be, and that's okay. I do also think I will share my script, and also maybe me reading it, like of the presentation, on my Substack that I made last year called Heroines of Labour, where I have been posting very erratically but some bits and bobs from my PhD research and or about my experience of doing a PhD. So when that is posted, I will leave a link in the description box if you'd like to check it out. I guess I did put a few clips of me practicing it in here, so then you can get more of a sense of what the whole argument was and what I was talking about. Yeah, I hope this vlog hasn't been too boring. Like I said, I definitely mentioned being tired in every single clip, but what can I say? I tell the truth. And I would love to hear if I don't know, it was just like, I'd love to hear from you if you want to share your thoughts and feelings about this, especially if you are in a similar position, or obviously you don't have to be a PhD student, you know, maybe you're just chronically ill and you want to talk to me about it, or like see some of your feelings and experiences reflected in this, then please talk to me. If you'd like to leave an emoji, you could leave, I don't know, like a pen emoji, I guess. Is there like a public speaking emoji? Oh, what about the one that's like yelling? This emoji, the emoji that looks like this. Yeah, I think that's everything that I have to kind of share at this moment in time here. And yeah, like I said, thank you for watching if you have got this far, and I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye.